Right. Welcome to Prerona Television Canada and Global Academy of Holistic Leadership and Coaching. I would like to welcome you new series called Global Human Resource Management Speaker Series. And we are very delighted and very happy that we are having a very important distinguished person with us. He is named as a global HR guru, and he is Muhammad Musharraf Hossain. Uh, So I would like to introduce him first. Mr. Mosharraf Hossain. Has a lot of credential, and he's as I told you earlier. He is considered as or he is named as a global HR guru, and he is also awarded by government of Bangladesh uh, for his lifetime achievement award. And also he's a founder president of Federation of Bangladesh uh, Human Resource Organization, FBHRO. And also, he's also a founder, former president of Asia Pacific Federation of Human Resource Management and BSHRM, which is Bangladesh Society for Human Resource Management. And he's also former board member of World Federation of People uh, Management Association. And he's also adjunct professor of couple of universities. He is associated with our premier or distinguished one of the prestigious institute, which is IBA, Institute of Business Administration, University of Dhaka, and also he is uh, he is also an adjunct professor of United International University, Dhaka, Daffodil International University, and Uttara University. And in Somalia, he is also an adjunct professor of Somavile University. He has a lot of credential. I'm actually a very um, not a person and a very humble to at least get acquainted with him. He has a lot of achievement. He is actually one of those authority in Bangladesh for his authority on human resource management. Now he's also been advisor of number of other institute. So I would like to now actually welcome um, Mohammad Mosharraf Hossain and introduce himself. What he's saying about him and how he's feeling right now. So I now welcome Mohammad Mosharraf Hossain to say a few words about yourself.
Thank you very much. First of all, good morning. I know it's a morning in Canada. We have the good evening. We are in between good morning and good evening. So thank you very much, first of all, for inviting me. And I'm very humble to you for your very generous introduction about myself. I think you have covered almost everything. I don't need to do this introduction again. But I think this is always a pleasure to associate it with anyone in Canada because I did my master's from University of Calgary in Canada in HR. So I feel Canada is like my second home, although I did not stay there. So yeah, and thank you for organizing this webinar. You have rightly mentioned, yes, HR is my passion. I'm in a full-time job, and that is with another international organization. I never worked with any local organization in my whole life. So it's my 35, 36 years of work experience in HR in Bangladesh and beyond. And apart from my job, I have passion for teaching and I have passion for organizing. And that's the reason for last 25 years I have been teaching in HR. And just for your information, I also taught at the Royal Roads University in British Columbia for about 5 years. They had a Bangladesh campus, and I was the adjunct professor appointed by the British Columbia campus from the Royal Roads University. And through this, more than 100 military officer was also my student, and many of them are now in a very good senior level position. And another passion is that when I returned from Canada, I thought that I should do something, and that's the reason I started mobilizing the HR professionals, and from 2000, and I have been actively involved in founding association, and the first association we found is the Bangladesh Society for Human Resource Management, where I was one of the founders and also served as 4 years as the founder general secretary, and then I have taken the presidency and served for 10 years as the president. And now you have already introduced about the HR Federation, 10 HR associations, and they sat together and formed the HR Federation. And I'm very pleased that they have nominated me as the founder president of the HR Federation, which is very uncommon. In many countries, it is not the case. And what happening that because of more than one HR association, they have some rivalry also from the competition. But what is happening in Bangladesh, it is not the case that all HR associations are working under the umbrella of Federation of Bangladesh Human Resource Organizations, and where I'm leading as the president. And you have rightly mentioned that I served at the Asia Pacific region, I served as the World Federation. So yes, I have a local experience, I have global experience, I have local education, I have global education. So I have been enjoying very much. So that's all about myself, and thank you once again for inviting me.
Yes, thank you very much. Just to introduce about our today, what we'll be discussing. I think he already covered about in organizational sound, go much about it, but actually we like to know as an as a I think lifelong learner, and also I'm very humble to at least learn from his expertise. So we like to look know more about his experience. So before doing that, I would like to just introduce the Global Academy of Holistic Leadership and Coaching is registered federally in Canada, also registered in Ontario, province of Ontario and province of Alberta. So we are actually a registered institute that offer leadership and coaching sessions. We are partnered with Prerona Television Canada, so that we continue this leadership series or this series continuously to encourage our this young generation, uh, the students and also the professionals or those who are doing businesses. So what today's topic is very important is global HR practices. Like, what is that context? So before we do that, I just need to say that because of pandemic, we are having a lot of challenges, and globally, there's whole we are getting a new norm, and then because a lot of people are a lot of employees are working from home, even the entrepreneurs they are working from home. So the practices, the practices we have a new right situation right now. So with that, right, we are having this new challenges now. Our discussions, or what we like to focus is what are these global human resource management and its role in this context. So we like to actually know what is global HR, not general HR, but globally. What do you mean by global HR and its role in this current pandemic's situation? If you kindly.
Thank you. Yes, yeah, there is a distinct difference between domestic HR and the global HR. And you have rightly pointed out that uh, is now the talk of the world. Let me share some of the things. Because of the globalization, even before the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, globalization started 30 years back. And due to the globalization of the business, globalization of a lot of other things, HRs become also global. And what we mean by global? The global HR means an HR which deals with the different nationality, different region, different religion, different ethnicity. So your workforce are very much diversified. people from Africa, people from America, Canada, Bangladesh, Middle East are working together, and you need to have a one comprehensive policy that will cover everyone. And the book definition for the global HR, that if you are managing the workforce from more than one country, then you are international or global HR. But you see many countries, including Bangladesh, even you will see in Canada, that most of the organization, even in the local organization, people are working from different countries. If you see in our RMG sector, I'm very pleased to see that even if the company who is owned by the Bangladeshi investor, 4 to 5 nationalities are working. So for that, you need to have a comprehensive HR management and HR policy, which will cover everything, and which will cover all the aspects which is going on in the world. Whereas in the domestic HR, you are only taking care of the domestic law, domestic issues. So there is a significant difference between domestic and the global, and most of the country nowadays are increasingly practicing the global human resource management or international human resource management, where you have the employees from many different countries, but working in the same organization under the same policy framework.
Right. I would like to just, before asking the next question, I'd like to just introduce like a few other issues about the HR challenges during the 21st century. Uh, Here, the World Economic Forum, this uh, in a relevant study, the future evaluation of jobs globally, total loss of jobs will be 7.1 million, 66% being concentrated in routine white collar function. So we can see here like how the new jobs, even with the pandemic, I think the new studies are also coming. Where we are doing a lot of researches right now and see what is happening in terms of different fields like computer, mathematics, architecture, engineering, different field areas. So we can see there is a changes. There is a change in different field of studies or the different areas of HR. So we also know there is also a fourth industrial revolutions here, and the specialists are also divided into this area. So it is important to understand that current context, what is going on around the world, and also with the technology is also involved in it. So my next question to you would be, these are how employees actually engaged, affected during this pandemic. As we know that we are using a model, that model we call that motivation, satisfaction, engagement model. And in this particular model, we can see, this is very important that, that employees are getting motivated, employing the satisfaction level and engagement model. But during this pandemic, this new thing, right, the new norm, it is affected largely to employees. The employer is definitely affected, but employees also affected. And definitely is also part, these are part of the HR practices. So I would like to ask you, right, how these employees engagement affected during pandemic.
Okay, thank you very much. This COVID-19 pandemic changed the whole world, not only in human resource management practices. And you have rightly mentioned that many people who used to work every day in the office and now working from home or working from anywhere, this is the situation. And I'm very pleased to share with you that I was actively involved with one of the employee engagement survey at the world level by the World HR Federation. So I have some experience about the employee engagement and their index. Employee engagement by definition is that the employee wholeheartedly work without any supervision and produce the highest result and highest productivity. So that means employee is very much aligned and own the whole organization, and they work almost without no supervision and self-directed. And those kind of employees are considered as an engaged employee. Engagement is a global problem, even before the pandemic. I can share with you one very interesting data. A survey was conducted by the World HR Federation, where I was the board member for 5 years. And what we have found after the survey globally, only 13% employees were found actively engaged with the organization. 13 only. On the other hand, we have found about 26% of the employees actively disengaged. So this was the situation of before pandemic. And as you know, that pandemic has affected in many aspects in the human life, and that includes, you see, the stress because of the unexpected infection of the employees and their family members, some death, some loss, and that affected significantly the employee index. And for that, many organizations, they have quickly realized and tried to stand beside the employees to support all the employee during their crises. And those organizations actually quickly increase the employee engagement, and they are in a better shape. But most organizations, they fail to recognize this fact, and they even, I can share some of the experience in Bangladesh, and they try to find the very easy path, reducing salary, job cut, and not paying the salary on time and benefits. And this has further aggravated on the employee index factor. So in general, employee engagement reduced, but in some organization, I'm not saying majority of the organization, some organization, because of the very proactive approach, supportive approach, and relationship with the organization and the employees, employee index significantly, engagement index significantly increased. But majority of the organization who fail to realize the employees' issues, employees' problems, their situation, and they unfortunately, uh, you know, uh, found some significant decrease of the employee engagement. So this is the situation. It's a mixed situation, but in general, it's reduced the employee engagement index. Although I mentioned that the worldwide the employee engagement index is not very much satisfactory. And from the region, you'll find that in the North America, it is better. In the Asian country, it is not so good. In African countries, it is also not so good. So this is the reality. And because of the pandemic, it affects significantly in most of the organization.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, as you know, that what we have learned actually because of this employee, this has actually been challenged, as Professor Mosharaf already mentioned. But I think that because of this, this is actually a great challenge for the employers because the retention, employee retentions, and then also about the productivity. Those who are having dealing with the technical delivery or some product exporting for, I guess is one of the challenges for them for how they can retain that some the for the retentions because I guess there is a significant shift of these jobs, because of pandemic. A lot of people actually move their right career, and then they are right thinking of actually starting a new career. Some of them are already they shifted. Some of them are maybe are thinking or they're getting training. Some of them are now planning. So eventually, you will see a changes in couple of months or year. There will be a significant changes of those who are already working there for many years in this particular field. So it is very interesting fact. Now, my next question would be right. How we can actually like for the employer point of view, what proactive steps can be taken uh, for getting the employee engaged, or is there any support from the government or sector association like chamber of commerce or other at industry associations? So what is the employer point of view, or maybe a government point of view, or the sector or the chamber point of view, right? How they can assist or how they can help in this context?
Yeah, there are there are 6-7 areas where employer need to work for increasing the employee engagement. One is of course, because of the situation, compensation benefit matters. Because of the COVID-19, people lost a lot of resources and their savings. So the first consideration should be given on the right compensation and benefit issues in order to bring back the um, employee engagement system. Second thing is your the health, safety, and environment. The COVID situation put us in a situation where employee realized that the health issue is the number one issues in the organization. So employees' health, safety, and environmental issue should be considered. That will increase the engagement. Third one is the relationship, employee relationship in the organization. That is also contributing in the employee engagement factors. You have mentioned about the government and the chamber. Yes, they have some role. Government in any country is the superpower. They can make some general law which all organizations need to comply, like the minimum salary issue, the some regulatory issues like provident funds, overtime, those kind of things. And plus, freedom and autonomy also contributes significantly in the employee engagement index. And work-life balance he become a huge issue. You have mentioned at the beginning that because of the COVID pandemic, a lot of employees started working from home. But unfortunately, not many organizations are that much friendly. And even during the serious COVID situation, there are organizations that did not shut down their business or office for a single day. So employees have to take risk and travel every day in order to reach to the office and serve there. So that is another issue, that work-life balance should be significantly taken care of, and particularly in the female employees, they have a triple role: job role, family role, and reproductive role. So far, and this COVID-19 pandemic put them in a very stressful situation. So if the more and more you allow the employee to work from home, that will also increase the employee engagement. And of course, the regulatory compliances by the organization. Like in Bangladesh, almost 2 months of the general holiday declared. Yes, I know that for the business continuity, you can bring some people or you can engage some people, but you have to also respect to the government decision. So all these issues need to be taken care of if the employer really wants to increase the employee engagement. Remember, employee engagement is directly linked with the productivity and profitability of the organization. The more you have the employee engagement, you are guaranteed of more profit, more productivity, and more happiness of the employees. So these are the areas where I think employer should give some consideration in order to win the hearts and minds of the employees, and eventually get them fully engaged with the organization.
Thank you very much. I know there is because of pandemic there is unemployment and is also increased. So there are companies or there are organizations they couldn't able to afford because they're having losses. So in context of, you can give an example of Bangladesh or whatever experience you have globally. Can you cite some examples about in context of unemployment, what is going on right now?
Yes, thank you very much. There is no doubt about it. This COVID pandemic, caused a losing of many jobs, and you have shared that 7.5 million job cards. If I take the example of Bangladesh, yes, many people they lost job because of COVID pandemic. But now some of them are getting back their job because of the situation in Bangladesh. The COVID situation improved dramatically. It is now 2-3% infection rate, and in the whole country today, even probably it was 8 or 9 deaths in the whole country. So the situation dramatically increased. So people are coming back to their job. Bangladesh is a country where we have already unemployment is an issue and a problem. And on top of that, there are additional people who lost their job. What I can see that there are new avenue also created. It's not that only people become unemployed and there is no opportunity. There are opportunities also arised. There are a lot of business venture, business avenue started. In Bangladesh, if you see that the online business is booming, you can get everything sitting at home. And that created 2-3 million jobs. Because for the delivering of the products and services at home, you need people. I'm very pleased to see that many university students, they have started delivering the product and services at home. And this has become an area where people can earn money. Second thing that, the remote job opportunity has been significantly increased. There are countries in the world where, more job, less people. And previously they used to take people from other country. But you see now, even last week I was just browsing and found that about 20,000 jobs are available across the world where you don't need to travel and you don't need to go. You can still doing the job sitting at home. And for the ordinary skilled people, for a lot of data entry jobs are also available. If you see if you Google, and you will find. So what I would like to say that, yes, the nature of job will be changed. A lot of job which we used to do at sitting at office, those jobs disappear. Now that the job pattern has been changed, now a lot of job on the street, you are delivering products and services, and uh, foreign jobs are also available sitting in Bangladesh. And there are no new business also started. There are a lot of online based, e-commerce based business started, and those are helping people to create new avenue and do the additional job or a new job within. You have mentioned that some of them are taking some courses, online courses in most cases, in order to equip them to grab those kind of jobs. So in general, it is a problem, but there are avenues, there are options also. And if you see that our economy in Bangladesh is not that much negatively affected because of people are found some other jobs and they somehow try to overcome that situation. So in general, what I can tell you that yes, unemployment is an issue and some people lost the job, but many of them are getting back their job. On top, there are new job avenue within the country and outside the country also created. So altogether, situation is improving very dramatically. If the COVID situation, what is prevailing now in Bangladesh, if this continues, then probably very soon in 6 months' time, our situation will be much, much better. And world situation is also getting better because of the vaccine started in many countries, and that is also helping to gain the confidence and reduce the infection rates and death rate. So altogether it is improving, but it is for sure that we need to have a new sets of skills. The old skills, ordinary skills job has disappeared and they will never come back. You have to acquire new skills and competency in order to get the new jobs or going back to your old job, because even if you go back to your old job, the competency set has been changed. um, so these are the issues And that's why I see a very good role of government, that government can help the young generation for acquiring those kind of skills and competency, supporting them in different way in the government institution, and to give some very short-term, easy terms and condition loans in order to help them to acquire the skills and competency. And a lot of Bangladeshi organizations are helping, and I see that there are some global organizations also that can contribute, including your organization. This an opportunity for the employees to acquire new skills and competency and fit in the new environment with the new skills and competency.
Great, thank you. Like to mention in context of your things, we see a hope, we see a very positive thing about the country is taking. Like as you know, like Bangladesh is actually a leader in terms. They're actually a disaster-prone area, and for ages or for decades, Bangladesh has been shown as a resilience and also a leader in terms of how they're managing the disasters. Uh, Even from the people's point of view, even from the government, they're actually taking even some of the industries as we like some of the industries they're also doing very well. And if we compare the local that economy, the GDP compared to India, and I think we see a progress, a significant. We're doing much better than India, Pakistan. The recent, the GDP what they're showing. So it is a very encouraging that Bangladesh is doing very well. And one of the perspectives is the people, a fighter means they learn. And this pandemic, I don't think so. This is a new thing for them. Bangladesh has already seen a lot of other disasters, the major floods or like the major, disasters. The
Cyclone also.
yes. So
So
yes, go ahead, sir.
you are right that yes, Bangladesh is a disaster-prone country, and because of the coastal area, we have a very long coastal area, and as a tropical country. And if I share with you, in 1990, 91, there was a cyclone, and 122,000 people killed. That was the devastating cyclone in 1991, along with floods and other things. And why it happened? It happened because of we did not have any preparedness. We were not ready. And after the 1991 cyclone, government has created the disaster management ministry and taken a lot of preparedness program at the government level, private sector level, and in different community level. And in 1996 or 7, I forgot the year, there was a more devastating cyclone, and it killed only 6,000 people. Because of our increased, preparedness and the government, safety net. And now that we are very much capable as a country, and the government is very much capable of managing all this, natural disasters, and even the COVID disasters, if you can, the pandemic, the government has handled it so nicely. The total death even not even 10,000. It is the most densely populated country in the world. But if you see the efficiency of the government in managing and combating the whole, uh, COVID pandemic situation, is very commendable. It is much better than India. You have rightly mentioned. A lot of people, died in India, but our situation is very, very encouraging because of the proactive plan, because of the partnership of the government with the private sectors, and ultimately, we have proved that our economy did not suffer a lot. And you have rightly mentioned, not only India, Pakistan, or neighboring country, our GDP is much, much better than even many of the developed countries. So that is the a clear testimony that the efficiency of the and the management of the people in Bangladesh, in the both in government sector and the private sector, has significantly increased. And with this confidence, what I can foresee that despite the disaster-prone country, our progress cannot be stopped. Yeah, and you probably know that one of the major bridge in Bangladesh on the Podda, it was proposed by the fund from the World Bank. Somehow they did not give the fund, and our honorable Prime Minister promised that okay, we will build this bridge with our own money. You can imagine what a brave decision. And with the 30,000 crore taka, the bridge first phase has already been completed. Hopefully by the end of this year or next year, the largest bridge of about 6 kilometers is going to be inaugurated, and all the expenses from our own resources. So this was only possible because of the good revenue generation in the country. And just for your information, we get about 16, 17 billion US dollar in every year from our remittance from our people who are working in the different countries, including Canada. So altogether, it's a very promising country, and I'm very sure that very soon we'll be a middle income country, and if everything goes well by the year 2041, Bangladesh will be reaching to the rich country list, and that is no more a dream. This is a practical, and we see the symptom and indicator to reach that goal. So altogether, it is working very well.
Right, thank you. Now, as we know that we're having major challenges associated with this fourth industrial revolution, and there are some examples that have been mentioned because of this technology. Some emerging technologies are there, like artificial intelligence. As you know, the artificial intelligence involves capacity of abstract deductive thoughts, ability to learn using digital binary logic of computers. Also, there is machine learning, a field of artificial intelligence that enables machines to improve their performance without being programmed to do so. Also, there is a robotics that machines that substitute and replicate human actions, and also blockchain technology that is resistance to the modifications of data. Data is stored on open and distributed ledger that can record transactions between two parties efficiently and verifiable and permanently. And we are using that nanotechnology, the manipulations of what atomic, molecular, or super, supramolecular matter. And there is quantum computing that uses quantum mechanical phenomena such as superpositions and entanglement. Biotechnology also making products or technological applications involving living systems and organisms. There is IoT, Internet of Things, the network of physical devices, vehicles, home appliances, and other items embedded with electronics, software, sensors, actuators, connectivity enabling collections of exchange of data. And there is automated systems, sets of hardware and software that allows machines to function without human intervention. And there is 3D printing, the various processes by which materials are joined and solidified under computer control to create three-dimensional objects. So I just briefly, right, described for some those who, just for the betterment. But my question is, this is just there are some. These are the emerging technologies, and this technology has been used right now and largely affected the human resource practices. Uh, Notably selections, onboarding, administration, and cognitive computing. And it was a one studies in Nicastro in 2012. They already done in AI how this AI, artificial intelligence, has been used in these the human resource practices. And this technology have a potential to disrupt almost every industry on a global scale, and is likely to have far-reaching effect on human behavior and which ways human interact socially and organizational context. So now, what are the challenges right now is that the role of human resource professional will become more pronounced and critical. So this is the point we are standing. So from that point of view, what do you think? What we are currently right now, or what we should do right in terms of this embracing these technologies, or how we can use those technologies for our betterments, for our economic development, and for our the skill development, or anything that is affecting for our future.
Yeah, thank you. This is a very, very important point you have mentioned. Yesterday, I was delivering a lecture with the television channel in Manila, in Philippines. And my talk was on the digital communication system because of the COVID-19 pandemic. You have rightly mentioned that all this technological advancement, industry revolution 4 and many other innovation of the technology will take a lot of human jobs, and we need to transform in a digital environment so that we can work in that situation. It is sure that a lot of manual job will be taken over by machine. There is no scope of keeping them, and you cannot. Good thing is in Bangladesh that government has recognized it uh, very early. We have already introduced an ICT ministry, and they're they are so efficient because of this vaccine. In 2 weeks' time, they have developed a software and apps for managing the whole, COVID program, vaccine program. That it is so nicely designed by the internal resource by the government. It was possible. In terms of, for last 8-9 months, most of the educational institute, even from the class 1 to the university level, this online education has been started. So the people become very much accustomed with this, digitalization. And the government of Bangladesh declared the digital Bangladesh 10 years ago. And as you probably know, that Bangladesh is enjoying the demographic dividend, means most of the young generation people. And as you know that the digitalization and this kind of technological learning is very much easier for the young generation compared to the older generation. Since we have the more young generation people, so it is not that much difficult. And you will be happy to know that in many of the organizations, this kind of technology already been started. Yes, we do not have the robotic management yet, but in integration of IT into the business process, machine learning, and all of them have been introduced in the country, and people are very much familiar. Another example I can tell you, we have 170 million, 60, 70 million people, and more than 100 million people have the mobile phone connections. And of them, 62% have the smartphone connection. So you can imagine the advancement of the technology. Even at the rural level, you'll find the Wi-Fi connection, you'll find all this technological advancement. And a lot of people, even sitting at the rural level, they have started a business on different e-commerce site. So this is affecting, but the good thing is this: the government is ready, our people are ready, and education institution has already started training and equipping the students so that they develop with the mindset that a manual job, traditional job, paper-based jobs will be disappearing. And and it is not going to affect. And most of the banking services in Bangladesh are online or SMS based or smartphone based. People don't need to go to the physically to the bank. So preparation is there, and government has introduced the ICT related study even from the primary school to high school and college and university. So we are ready to face this kind of situation. And I think there are some sporadic innovation by some of the students even in Bangladesh. Even last month, I have found that one of the district level student, uh, not even in the capital, was able to innovate some kind of aeroplane. So you can imagine. So those kind of patronization is also started from the government sector. So this will be affecting, but we are careful. Government is careful, and organizations are also careful. And COVID-19 pandemic help us significantly in order to cope up with the technological advancement, and that helps a lot. So I think it will affect every country and also Bangladesh, but we are ready. I don't think it will be seriously upsetting issues in the country.
Right. Thank you very much. I would like to now the next two areas that we'll be discussing is more about summarizing, and then the next part we'll be discussing some career options in human resource management. So before I go to that last portion of career prospects and human resource management, I'd like to just summarize in few things that we have learned, that the challenges that have been faced by human resource professional, like the sourcing of the right skills and competencies we discussed, and dealing with these exponential technologies that changes, and reality of human machine interactions, and how we are adapting these new things, and how we are managing the diversity. It is also very important, and rethinking the challenge management, how we can how the challenge management can be managed in context of this current context. So with that, I would like to ask Professor Mosharraf Hossain for your concluding remarks in terms of what we have learned, and what do you think, what is your message to all the students, or all these those who are actually in the field of human resource practitioners. There are many, those who are following you, following, those the human resource management practices. So what is your message to them?
Thank you very much. My message is very clear. From the discussion for last 1 hour, it is proved, it is evident that the traditional human resource management is going to disappear very soon. You have to integrate the global human resource management practices in your organization, even if you are working in your home country. There is no way you have to introduce the global human resource management practice. In order to do this, HR professionals, we need to upgrade our skills and competency. My strong message to all the HR professionals who are working in Bangladesh, that our traditional skills and competency, previous skills and competency is not sufficient. The way we are managing this will not remain same. It will be totally different. Different in terms of integration of IT into the business process. Human resource management will be totally paperless. You like it or not like it, that is not non-issue. It will be totally paperless. You don't need any paper. And if you cannot, pop up with the paperless human resource management, I think dangerous days are waiting for you. Next one is that we have to have a global mindset. With the local mindset, you cannot manage the global human resource management. And that's why you probably know that in Bangladesh, the first time in Bangladesh, we have introduced the masters in International Human Resource Management, a new degree, a master degree program at the United International University, where we are trying to teach how to manage the international human resource management, how to manage the global human resources. And, and there are few courses we have included that integration of IT into the human resource management. And you see, the human resource management is a kind of applied science, and that is possible to fully integrate into the technology in the machine. And uh, our HR professionals in Bangladesh, they started with the personnel management concept and then human resource management. And now that we are asking for the global human resource management. So a proper transformation is necessary among the HR professionals. I started a HR profession back in 30 years back, but I cannot keep those old practices with them. With the change and the time, I have to transform myself with the present requirement. So my strong message to the HR students and HR professionals that look at what is going on at the world level, look at how the technology is integrated in the whole human resource management practices, and see the talent people that the talent the pattern of that human talent has been significantly changed. You see this, yesterday I gave one posting that probably this is the time to introduce the reverse learning or reverse mentoring system, whereas our long-term practices in Bangladesh and many other countries that the senior will teach the junior, but now I am arguing that junior will teach the senior, and because junior have some skills and competency which senior might not have. So we have to change the whole paradigm shift. We have to restructure the organization in order to make it flatten. We have to introduce the more online services to the line manager. We have to introduce the self-service human resource management, and you don't need to do all the services for the employee. Employee can do some of their self-services, and that is possible if we can rightly integrate the technology into our human resource management practices. So altogether, the way we managed human resources, it is no more possible. The behavior of the human has been significantly changed. The loyalty has been significantly reduced, and this will further reduce. So instead of loyalty accountable to the supervisor, make the people accountable to their result. So those kind of new concept we have to introduce in the human resource management practice, and that we need to learn. And in order to learn, we need to actually spend some of our time and money to learn all the new skills and competency in order to equip ourselves for the global human resource management practice. And for that, there are many emerging organizations, universities, where we have to explore how we can learn. Altogether, we have to survive. And transformation is something, change is something, it is inevitable. It's not that we can stop them. It is inevitable. It will happen. In my early life, we never thought of using computer in our workplace. But now that I am advocating that no more paper, the full integration of the human resource management will be with the technology. So you see, this is a kind of 180-degree opposite in my career. I started 100% paper-based, and now that I'm very fortunate that the organization where I work, we have almost paperless human resource management practices we are introducing. So as a teacher, as a senior HR professionals, as a global HR person, my request to everyone, every HR professionals, every HR students, that you have to transform, you have to learn the new skills, you have to integrate the whole technology into our workplace, and we have to delegate all the routine HR functions to machine. There is no need for doing all these, machine jobs. The Almighty Allah has created us with the most resourceful brain, and we should use our brain for innovation and creativity, not to do just for routine jobs which can be easily done by machine. So thank you very much.
Thank you. With that, I would like to thank bottom of my heart. I'm very humbled and honored that I had an opportunity to meet with you. And I've been, I think, I don't know, last 15, 20 years. I think, I don't know, I don't remember, maybe almost 20 years or maybe beginning of 2000. I think
Yes,
mid
I
2000.
remember.
Yeah, so we started being, so you have been an icon to a couple of multinational organizations like, and I have a lot of people followers like from Care Bangladesh, from ICDDRB, like many of the employees or those co-workers actually been referred. Then they are globally placed right now, and some of them are always speaking about you and your expertise working with you. So I'm very humble that today we learned a lot of things today, and um, very pleased that but we like to, we are not stopping here. We like to continue these discussions or continue this discussion because through which we like to encourage and inspire others and see, because this is the new journey, and with the new journey we have to do mentorship, we have to share our expertise and encourage our new generations, the students, the practitioners, those who are practicing in this particular field. So we want to continue with this journey with this spirit that will be doing all right, and we'll be the leader, global leader in this particular area. So with that, I have a few minutes, some presentations about how well we are doing. There are a few questions actually coming from Bangladesh, that in Canada, what are the prospects of human resource management? So I'll divide into three parts. I'll give you one statistics, and then I will give you what are the jobs titles that are available in Canada, and then I will share with you the designation that you require for practice in Canada. So these three different things. So the human resource continues to be one of the better sectors in Canada. The bottom 10% earners make $40,950 or less, while the top 10% earners make around 87,500 or more. And this is the 2021 and will be remaining the same, the scale. So it is a fairly a new statistics actually. So it will be similar in 2021. That's what they are saying. So it is very encouraging. With that, I would like to share a screen with you and then share that some experiences, what is going on in the field of um, the human resource, the jobs in Canada, because a lot of people are asking that's what is going on. So I know during this pandemic, we have already discussed what are the human resource thing in Canada. These jobs, as you know, that HR manager is one of the jobs that HR manager. And also in Canada, there are some temporary recruitment agencies, and these recruitment agencies have the HR recruiters. The recruiter, they can recruiter. So you can be a recruiter into the particular agency. And there is called HR generalist. I think it is one of those popular job I can see when in the organization they call HR generalist. So instead of sometimes in Bangladesh we can see they can call our HR manager or supervisor, I don't know, but we here we call HR generalist. So this generalist, one of those, they can see that out the top three demand jobs in 2021. So they did a lot of things. For example, talent management, recruitment, relations, or payroll, or other things. And then there is HR coordinator. So what is HR coordinator do is there are a lot like HR generalists, but more junior. The HR coordinator typically provide general HR and administrative support. So these are the jobs which is available now. HR director is a bit senior. So these jobs are top HR hierarchy. So this is chief people officer or chief human resource officer. There are new names, right, to accommodate chief learning officer, someone actually who is coordinating. So and then HR business partner. So this is one of those title that we are using now. Talent acquisition specialist. So these are the the titles that we can see. Manager of training. So these are the thing. So now I'd like to share another screen. Now in Canada, one of those popular people asking that how if we want to practice in human resource management, what do you need? We need a certification called Certified Human Resource Professional. It's called CHRP. So CHRP is a designation. If you are CHRP, and you can work in the field of human resource management. And there is an association, like there is a professional association called Human Resource Professional Association, and in cities they have also, are in provinces they have a local association. So Human Resources Professional Association, HR, HRPA. So through HRPA we can get CHRP, the Certified Human Resource Professional. There are some course requirement, and there is a knowledge exam, and then you can get certified with that. So if you get certified, and then you can get CHRP designation. And CHRP designation, I can see that many. If you're CHRP, then only it is very get into that HR field. Very good, easier for you to work in this HR field. Without that degree, probably it is very hard for you to get promotions or get to the next level. So with that, I would like to invite to do research, and those who are practitioners, HR practitioners, I would like to invite you to do some research and see how you can learn. Not necessarily some of them need to come to Canada or USA, but in your own country like Bangladesh, you can practice. You learn how well these HR practices in Canada or what they're doing. So you can also, even we can learn. I have an experience I'll share with you before I end. I did one a course development for ocean literacy in Cox's Bazar by one of the NGO. So I developed that courseware for those fishermen. So it was a very interesting project. But the same model I'm using in Vancouver base in British Columbia. So Bangladesh model has been used in Canada. So it isn't, we are living in a global world. So we can use different models from each country. We can learn from Bangladesh. You can also learn from Canada. You can learn from other countries. The summary is like we have to excel in our field, and as we said, Professor Mosharaf, he said that he's very passionate. We are also very passionate about this, the human resource management. And I know that he is also one of those that top writing, they're propagating the ministry. I think that been working with for the government for the separate ministry for that, and we actually congratulate him for his passion and for his contribution to the human resource field in Bangladesh. He is considered as the icon of human resource management. So with that, I would like to thank you again for your contribution today, and we like to invite you again in the next session sometimes, and we like to ask you to encourage the young generations. And as you know that we are registered in as an institute, we'll be offering some courses too. But for now, right, we encourage you to follow, right? Even in Bangladesh there are institutes, and you also give an example. There are some number of organizations, they are also providing some human resource management programs. So I encourage those who are practitioners, those who are following, you should, right, upgrade yourself. You should develop your skill, and you should get those designations or the certifications or those courses, so that you can help your organizations, and you can, better serve yourself, better serve your organizations. So with that, thank you very much. This is a series that we are starting, and hopefully I hope that you benefited from these sessions, and we'll be also posting in our official YouTube channel, and you will be getting the links soon. With that, thank you very much, and stay safe and stay well. Thank you very much, Professor Mosharaf. If you want to say something.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and I assure you that since you have started for developing the human resources in Canada, if you expand your activities in Bangladesh, I will definitely support you. So whatever support you need from me, I'm available in a sense that together we need to help in developing the global human resource management practice, not only in Bangladesh, not only in Canada, the whole world. So in this process, I'm available to support you, and definitely I look forward for the next series whenever it is possible. So thank you very much once again.
Thank you. Stay safe and stay well. May Almighty bless you all.
Same for you.